Hello, my name is Farah Lawal Harris. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I'm the Artistic Director of Young Playwrights Theater in Washington, D.C. Thank you so much for joining us for the final reading of The House by Savannah S. Miller as part of our Young Playwrights in Progress program. You will be watching the sixth draft of this play. Young Playwrights in Progress, or YPIP for short, is a season-long script development program where young and early career playwrights engage in a season-long revision and workshop reading process with YPT. For more information about the program, please visit www.yptdc.org or visit the video description below. I'd like to take a moment to thank our playwright, Savannah S. Miller, for all of her hard work in YPIP from August 2020 to June 2021. Savannah, it's been a pleasure to work with you this entire season and just to see your play grow from beginning to end, and I can't wait to see where it goes in the future. Congratulations on your progress and also on your recent graduation from Dartmouth College. I'm proud to be joined by an ensemble of talented actors: Felipe Cabezas as Daniel, Omar Cruz as Tony, Jack Novak as Tom, Ruth Elizabeth Diaz as Lydia. Elle Sullivan will play the roles of the buyer and the nurse, and I will be reading stage directions. Whether you're joining us live or watching the replay, I encourage you to leave your thoughts, reactions, and feedback in the comments section on YouTube, or to complete our feedback form linked in the description below. Before we begin, please be advised that the reading you're about to watch contains the following content warnings: mildly explicit language, instances of xenophobia, and mentions of child loss. I would also like to note that this performance is occurring live. It's not pre-recorded, and we ask that you forgive any technical difficulties if they occur. The play is in 2 acts, and there will be a 5-minute intermission. Without further ado, we present The House by Savannah S. Miller. Characters: Daniel, half white, half Latino, technology developer, smart, trying to move past his father's death, white passing. Tony, 27, half white, half Latino, family man, stubborn. Tom, age varies, World War II veteran, Daniel and Tony's father. Lydia, age varies, painter, Puerto Rican, mestiza, Daniel and Tony's mother. Buyer, mid-20s. The same actor will also play the nurse, who is in her late 30s and daft. Setting: a house in Pensacola, Florida. Time varies from 1950s to 1980s. Generally, scenes between Daniel and Tony take place in the mid-1980s. Those between Tom and Lydia begin in the 1950s and get progressively more modern. Act 1, Moment 1. Lights up on the entirety of a house in 1985. 3 rooms can be seen at once: a sitting room, a kitchen, and a bedroom. The place is cozy and colorful. On the doorway into the house are markings indicating growth or height. Daniel, Tony, and the buyer enter. All 3 are dressed in nice clothes, fashionable for 1985.
So this is the main entryway. We had the floors done a few weeks ago, so this is all new paneling you see here. From here, you can get pretty much anywhere in the house. This here is our living room. It can also be a dining space or a play space if you have children. Do you have children?
No, but my husband wants some. We'll probably have 1 or 2 in the near future. It's really a shame he couldn't come with me.
Well, this is a wonderful house for children. I'm a little biased, obviously, but it's a great neighborhood to grow up in.
How is crime?
Practically no crime, at least none that we saw. Within walking distance is the high school. Bus picks up younger kids at the corner by Seneca.
What do you think?
Fine neighborhood.
My brother has always been a man of few words. But what does your husband do again?
He's a doctor, an endodontist. That tree outside, does it naturally grow here?
Which?
The one with the flowers, the red ones.
Oh, that was planted by my father for my mother. I don't think they naturally grow here. No, they have to be planted.
It's beautiful. I've never seen anything like it.
What's an endodontist do again?
Teeth.
Endodontists don't do teeth. Those are dentists. Endodontists specialize in dental pulp, what's inside your teeth. My husband is especially wonderful at performing root canal procedures. Back in Miami, he used to do around 30 procedures a week. He's the best in all of Florida.
I'm sure.
Dental pulp.
He and a few of his colleagues are opening up their own practice here now. You may have heard of it. Fleming, Jennings, and Morrison. No? Well, it's exciting, and Pensacola certainly needs a practice.
And what do you do?
Oh, mostly crafty things here or there. Right now, I'm on a kick of getting old wine bottles and painting them. They make great gifts for people. I just love taking old things and giving them new life. It's a fun way to pass the time. Well, that and watching Dallas. You said the furniture comes with the house, yes? This table would make a great workstation.
Yes, all the furniture comes with it. Neither of us needs it. If it had any sentimental value, we took it out already.
Well, this is a good table.
I'm glad you like it.
The chairs may need a new home. Perhaps the guest room or somewhere.
Why?
Well, they don't really go with this table. I mean, green upholstery with such a modern looking table. Home and Garden said that avocado is out now that it's the 80s. Mauve and orchid would be much better, don't you think?
Look, why don't we move on to the kitchen? Now, we recognize that the kitchen needs a little work. I think you'll find that that's reflected in the price we're asking. All the appliances you see here are fully functional. Gas stove, very capable of cooking meals for a large amount of people. Our mother used to make candied rice every Christmas without any trouble.
Arroz con dulce.
Arroz con dulce. Ooh, that sounds exotic.
Exotic?
Tony, it's Puerto Rican.
Oh, very exotic. I bet it's good. So you're Puerto Rican. Well, you speak English beautifully, if so.
Well, thank you. I am American, though. I was born here, raised here.
Well, you don't look it at all.
Well, our father was white, lifelong Floridian. These were his. He was in World War II. That's how he met my mom.
Whoa, did that happen a lot back then? I thought that was a new thing.
Did what happen?
Nothing.
Sure. So, this is the kitchen. We love it, but it can look a little outdated. That's obviously something you can fix if you decide to buy it. This way is the master bedroom. It comes with a dresser, bed frame, vanity. The stuff that's on it will come with us. We're still packing up some of the smaller things.
This necklace is beautiful.
Thank you. It was my mother's.
Makes sense. Look at the colors.
I'm keeping that.
I wasn't going to take it.
He wasn't saying that at all. I'm so sorry. But why don't I show you the bathroom and the guest room?
I wasn't going to take the necklace. I'm not a swindler.
It's not for sale.
I don't want to buy it.
Good.
I can leave. Is that what you want? What you both want? Because there are other houses. You may have a nice yard and a pretty tree, but there are plenty of other houses that don't require me to buy new chairs or redo the entire kitchen cabinet system. You need my business.
I can assure you that we do not want you to leave.
You don't want her to leave.
We don't want you to leave. We're extremely eager to have your business, and we really want to sell this house.
You want to sell the house.
Antonio.
I'm leaving. Let me know when you two settle this little spat. Por favor.
She wouldn't have bought the house anyway, Daniel.
What makes you say that?
She didn't think it was good enough.
She was thinking about buying the place, Tony. Did you see the way she looked at Mama's tree? She was talking about mauve chairs, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, she wanted to buy it, to fix it up, to change it. You said we'd find someone who loved this place.
It doesn't matter. We were almost rid of it.
Rid of it? That's a great way to talk about the house you grew up in. Mommy's rolling in her grave.
You have to stop doing this.
Doing what?
Stopping sales. Eventually, I'm going to stop telling you when potential buyers are coming to see the place.
You do that, I'll start staying over here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, right there in that green upholstered chair.
I don't think Rosa would like that very much, or Luisa.
They'd move in with me. We'll turn the guest room into Luisa's room. Rose and I will take the master to a workout.
We've already talked about this, Tony.
Yeah, I know.
You can't afford it.
But you can. Or you could give me time to save.
I don't want it.
You never did.
That's not fair, Antonio. We have to sell it. You have half, and I have half. We both need to sell it. I can't be tied down here anymore.
Do you remember my 7th birthday?
What?
Do you remember my 7th birthday? You would have been 10 then.
No, I can't say I do.
You took me to the park. There was a man there with his cart. I can't remember his name for the life of me. But he was selling besitos de coco from his cart. And you bought me 7. One for every year I'd been alive. And you and I ate them all by the time we got home. And Mama was so upset because she'd been baking a cake all afternoon for me. Do you remember what you told her?
No, I don't remember this at all.
You said, Mama, the cake is American and the besitos were Puerto Rican. We can have them both because we're both. And Mama just stood there with this blank look on her face. We ate the cake a few hours later when some of my friends from school showed up.
What was the point of telling me this?
You used to be so proud of yourself, of here. Then it all changed.
Antonio.
Don't try to deny it, Daniel. We both know you can't. That's why you have to sell. You know, I could afford my half if you kept yours.
No, don't paint me as some sort of bad guy.
Dad dies and your first reaction is to leave. And of all places to go, California? Can you try to get any further away from here?
My career is in California. If you want to go into technology, you go to California, Silicon Valley. That's where you go, Tony.
Oh, like you couldn't have gotten into a company based in Miami?
That's not the point.
Then what is?
They're gone. Why am I here anymore? I never liked it here. Florida is too rainy, too hot.
California's cold.
Or colder. It's not your decision.
You're right, Daniel. It's not. I just wish we were making a better one.
I need to measure the cabinets in the bathroom for new installations. Come with me.
Whatever you say.
Moment 2. Tom and Lydia enter through the doorway in outfits from the 1950s. Tom is guiding Lydia, who has a blindfold on.
What are you doing, Tom? Where are we?
Just hold on a minute. Almost there.
You tell me to come back with you to America, and you won't even let me see it? That's not fair at all.
You saw some of it.
Oh, the airport was so beautiful.
Okay, Lydia, okay. Take the blindfold off.
What is this place? Is this where you live?
It's where we live.
I thought you said we were going back and live with your parents. Are they here? What are they?
They're just a short drive away.
Then what is this place?
Well, it's our house. I bought it.
You bought a house?
Yes, well, I had some help from Mom and Dad, but it's all mine. Say something. Do you like it?
Like it. I love it, Tom. I really do. Look at how big it is. Have you ever lived in a house so big in your life?
No.
And look at the walls.
About the walls, I know red is an odd color to have them painted, but I can paint over it.
Don't you dare. I love it.
You love it?
Yes, I do. Red's my favorite color, you know.
Yes, I know.
What would you have painted them? White? Light blue? Yellow? Either way, red is the best color to paint walls. It's warm. It's the color of Flor de Maga. You know, best color to raise a family in.
A family, huh?
Yes. Children should always grow up in the color red.
Children should grow up in the color red.
I just said that. I do want to meet your parents, though. When can I? When can we go to a cafe? When can you show me around America?
America. Well, I can show you around Florida. Soon, dear. I want to show you around the house first.
Well, show me. What are you looking at?
I love you.
I love you too.
How do you say it in Spanish again?
Te amo.
Te amo.
Almost perfect.
Almost?
Yeah, almost. Well, are you going to show me the place?
Of course. So, this is the living room. We can eat in here at this table. I think my next purchase is going to be one of those television things. You and I can sit here and watch it. Wouldn't that be great?
Only if you talk to me at the same time. Explain things. I didn't come all this way to sit in front of a screen all day and not talk to my husband.
That never gets old.
What?
Husband.
Marido.
Huh. Well, that one sounds even better.
Hey, stop getting distracted. Show me the rest of the place.
All right, all right. I also think I might get new chairs for in here. My parents donated the set, but I don't like the color.
I do?
Really?
Yes. Oh, they feel nice. The color is pretty.
Bright green?
Yes.
Bright green and red.
Yes.
Like Christmas colors.
I never even thought of that. It'll be like Christmas every day.
Christmas every day.
Show me the kitchen.
Of course. This is it. What do you think?
It's big. Big enough to cook in.
Well, it is a kitchen.
Look at this stove.
Oh, you know what those are?
Darling, I'm from Puerto Rico, not Antarctica. Does it work?
Previous owner said it did. I'm sorry, your place didn't have a stove. I just assumed.
My place had a stove, Tom. Just not like this. Some of the rich people in San Juan had these.
Oh.
I can't wait to use it.
I'm glad. Through there is a guest room. It could be a kid's room later.
A kid's room.
I just said that. Through there is the bathroom. I think that needs a little work, but we can talk about it.
Oh, what's wrong with it?
I think some of the tiling is drab, but we can see it later. And over there is our bedroom.
Really?
Yes. Look, I know this house needs a lot of work. It was the best one I could afford. I don't know what your vision of America was when you agreed to come here with me, but we can get it there. I'll find a job and collect civilian pay my parents back some. You can get a job if you want to. We'll save up and fix this place up, and it'll be
perfect.
Perfect?
Perfect.
Moment 3. We see Tony sitting at the dining room table. He has a photo album out in front of him and is reading a notebook. Daniel enters and watches him.
What's that?
You know what it is, brother.
Let's stop reading that. You're just going to make yourself upset.
You ever read it? There's so much in here we didn't know.
Did you ever think that maybe they didn't want us to know?
Well, why else would one write? Scripts are meant to be shot, plays are meant to be performed, stories are meant to be told. This is our story.
It's my father's story.
And therefore, your own.
I don't know, Tony. He was out of his mind, probably doing whatever he could to pass the time until he...
Until he what? Died? You can say the word, I'm not that sensitive.
The fact is, he probably wrote that stuff down for his own sake. He didn't want us to read it. He never even told you he was writing it. We found it.
I found it.
Does that matter?
I was the one here to find it.
I was interviewing in California.
2 days before.
But my plane didn't leave until the next day.
You have money?
I didn't know how serious it was.
I called you.
Yeah, and you called me 20,000 times before that. And I dropped what I was doing every single time, bought so many tickets every single time. I'm not a rich man, Tony, but I flew back, drove back every time.
Yeah, begrudgingly. Like it pained you so much to visit your dying father. I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too.
You really should read this sometime. Look what else I found. It's a photo album from when we were younger. I must have been 4, maybe 5.
You were 5. Here's your first day of kindergarten.
Mom looks so happy.
I don't ever think I saw her sad.
I did.
When?
Oh, several times. She bawled like a baby after you left for college.
She didn't cry in front of me.
She waited until you left. She thought you wouldn't go if you saw her. She cried my senior year when I got a B in Spanish.
No, she didn't.
She did. Swear, Daniel.
You got a B in Spanish? How? You know it much better than I do, and I got an A.
I was never cut out for school like you were. I didn't see the point.
So you only saw her cry twice?
There were a few other times, small times. She didn't cry a lot. You'd have to really be looking at her to see it. It was usually just a tear or two. She always wiped it away before too many people noticed, but I always noticed. I always watched her.
So, are you taking the album back to your place?
No, you can have it. I want the notebook. Wouldn't be fair to have both.
But you can have it if you want it. I don't know what I'd do with it.
Look at it, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Look at it. Now, who are these people?
Oh, those are the singers. Remember Jimmy, Dad's best friend from grade school? They were both drafted at the same time, same station, I think. They gave you that Hartman briefcase for your graduation. You don't remember?
I don't remember a lot from back then. It all seems so long ago.
You're barely 30, Daniel. It wasn't that long ago. Well, what do you remember?
The big things. Mom, Dad, you, school, getting my car. Second best day of my life.
Second?
When I got into MIT.
Oh.
What?
Nothing.
No, tell me.
Look, it's just going to make you mad, and I've been doing a lot of that lately. So.
Then might as well say it.
It's just that the best days of your life are when you found ways to get away from here. Away from Mom and Dad. They weren't terrible. They loved you.
I never said they didn't.
Well, you act like they didn't sometimes. Been trying to get away for so long. I think that's why you don't want to read the notebook.
I'm going back to my apartment. I have to finish packing up. I leave in 2 weeks and the movers are coming tomorrow. I don't have time to read a notebook. He was senile. It's probably all nonsense anyway.
It's not.
Moment 4. Lydia moves into the living room, carrying a painting and her supplies carefully, trying not to drop them. She reaches the table with a sigh of relief and sits, starting to work. Eventually, Tom enters.
You're home early? Is everything okay?
Of course. Crawford told Jim and I to take an early lunch. I figured I'd stop by and see you. How'd your interview go?
Well, I don't think I'm going to get it.
What happened?
Nothing. I just don't think it's going to work out.
Well, did they say anything?
Nothing important.
Lydia.
They said I sound too Mexican when I talk. They think colors aren't going to be able to understand me.
Too Mexican?
I'm just repeating what he said, Tom. And maybe he's right. I've only been here a few months. I need to get used to the way people speak.
Most of your schools are taught completely in English.
Did you know that before you were stationed there?
You speak fine.
I do. In Puerto Rico. In San Juan. Darling, I'm fine. It was my first interview. There'll be more.
What's this?
It's a painting.
Well, I can see that. Of what?
Flor de Maga. Or it will be. You remember those, right? Oh, you can't have forgotten how pretty they are.
How could I forget? It was in that bouquet I gave you the first time I saw you, remember? I actually have a confession about that.
What?
Well, I had originally promised to get some flowers for Jim. He had a thing for this nurse on base. I was on my way to give them to him when I saw you at your mom's cafe. I knew that I'd regret it if I didn't say something to you, so I forgot all about Jimmy and gave you the flowers. Turns out he was going on a date later and greeted her empty-handed. He didn't talk to me for days.
For days?
More like hours. You know, Jim, even when he's not talking to you, he talks to you. Passive-aggressively, of course.
I have a confession about that day, too.
You do?
Yes.
Well, what is it?
You know how I said I was free that night?
Yes.
I wasn't free.
Oh, really?
Really. In fact, I had a date with Juan Ayala that night.
Juan Ayala?
Oh, good-looking fellow, too. All the girls in San Juan loved him. But I was the one who got the date with him.
You did?
Yes. But I took one look at you, and I knew I'd be wasting my time if I went on that date with him.
How'd you know that?
Something in your eyes? You gave me that flower and you didn't even know me. My mother may have also nudged me with her elbow as soon as she laid eyes on you.
She did?
Yes. She always had a way of telling the good ones from the bad ones. She was used to the American soldiers stopping by for her espresso. Every day you visited the cafe and talked with me, she always kept her eye on us. Every now and then I'd see her smile. I do miss her.
I know you do.
I think she's happy for me. She's happy we're in America.
Well, why doesn't she come here?
What?
We can send for her if you want. We could set her up here until she can find her own place. We can get her out of that apartment, give her a better life.
She would never leave the island. That little coffee house? There's no better life for her.
What do you mean?
She's nearly 50. She's worked at the cafe since she was a kid with my abuelo. San Juan is the only city she's ever known, and it's the only one she wants to know. She loves it.
But the apartment...
It's small, yes, but it's also hers. It's vibrant and colorful and full of life, just like she is. She got her paintings high on the wall, her flowers at the base of every windowsill. She loves her neighbors. She cooks for the children on her floor at least once a week. She's in her favorite city in the world, in her favorite country in the world. She would never leave.
The way you say that almost makes me think you didn't want to leave either.
Darling, I didn't want to. Until I met you. San Juan was my favorite city until I met you. Until you told me stories and talked about your family and how you love the ocean. Now my favorite city is whatever city you happen to be in. Pensacola is my favorite city now.
Pensacola isn't even my favorite city.
Then why do you stay here?
My mom, the house, the basic things. What? You look like you want to say something.
It's nothing, Tom.
No secrets, remember? What's on your mind?
Do you think that if the roles were reversed, if I had asked you to stay with me in Puerto Rico, you would have?
I don't know. If I'm being honest, I don't think so. But not because of you. I just saw too much there, heard too much there. When you think of Puerto Rico, you see where you grew up. You see these beautiful things. Florida, my God. I just see military bases and army nurses, these drab and lifeless places and people. I remember hearing about the people in Europe and days-long battles. I felt simultaneously grateful and useless. The fact is that the only really beautiful part of San Juan to me was you. Well, now I have you with me.
You can't focus on those things. You have to focus on the color. Oh,
What are you doing?
do you think you could hammer a nail in here? I want to hang this up. I want to hang this up so you can start to focus on the beautiful things.
Yes, I can do that.
Moment 5. Tony is laying down in the bedroom. Daniel enters and crosses to the kitchen, looking at the cabinets. He notices a notebook on the counter and stares at it. He picks it up and looks as if he is about to open it, but Tony stirs and he drops the book back onto the counter.
Hey, Daniel, I didn't know you were showing up today.
We have another potential buyer coming tomorrow. I wanted to finish cleaning up the bathroom, but I can't seem to find any Clorox.
Check under the sink.
Thanks. What are you doing here, by the way?
Oh, napping.
Don't you have your own place for that?
Yeah, but Rosa isn't home and Luisa's at school. What's the point of going back to an empty condo if I'm already here? What am I going to do, talk to the landlord?
Well, this is also an empty house, and that's your dead parents' bed. You can see how that would be a little weird.
The sheets have been washed.
Whatever you say. I'm going to wipe off the counters.
Do you remember when Abuela came to visit?
Vaguely. Why?
What do you remember about her?
I don't know. She was shorter than Mom. Wore a lot of blues and yellows.
Is that all?
Well, what else should I remember?
It was after Mommy lost Francesa, remember that?
Yes.
I was just wondering what you remembered about her.
Are you just trying to make me feel like a shitty person again?
No, I'm genuinely asking. I was so young then. I was only 3. I hardly remember a thing. Thought maybe you could help me fill in the gaps.
She only visited once.
That's my point. I only have these snapshots of her. Just these frozen moments in time. They don't make a story. I can't explain them. It's infuriating.
She was nice. She wouldn't speak any English, though. Mama said she knew it well. I mean, they all had to know English. But Abuela, our grandmother was too proud of her country to speak English. She was here about a week, spent most of it sitting with Mama, helping her get past everything. She and Mom sat in the living room and painted for hours while she was here. And that seemed to do more for Mom than actually talking. She died a few months after going back.
Did Mama go back?
Well, I'm sure you remember.
I don't, tell me.
Mom didn't want to. She hadn't been back to Puerto Rico in years. I asked her the night after she got the news why we weren't going. She told me, Daniel, I don't belong there anymore. Asked her if she belonged in America. She said that she didn't belong in America either. She said that she belonged with us.
So you do remember some things.
Yes. I suppose I remember some things.
Want to get some food?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Italian?
Chinese. I'll buy.
Moment 6. We see Tom sitting in the living room looking at a newspaper. Lydia enters, obviously upset but not crying. Tom gets up to go see her.
Lydia, Lydia, what's the matter?
Nothing.
It obviously isn't nothing.
It's nothing, Tom. It's been a long day.
Where are the groceries? Do you have them?
No.
Did you not get them?
I forgot. I'm sorry. I'll bring them tomorrow from Clyde's.
You hate Clyde's.
Yes.
Why don't you go to Bargain World?
I realize that Clyde's is down the street. It makes no sense to ride the bus all the way to Bargain World, does it?
It's not about sense, Lydia. You hate Clyde's. They never have fresh fruit. They're expensive.
Well, the bus is expensive. I think they average out about the same.
Not at all.
I waste time sitting on the bus.
I thought you loved riding the bus. If that's the problem, darling, I can drive you.
I do love riding the bus. Just not to Bargain World.
Then to where?
Anywhere else.
Darling,
Love.
what's the matter?
Nothing is the matter, Tomas.
Something has obviously upset you.
How do you know that?
Because I know you.
Do you?
I married you.
Malditos Americanos. We got married after 3 months. Do you really suppose that is a long enough time to know somebody?
Lydia,
Tomas.
you know I know you just as well as you know yourself.
No. I know you as well as you know yourself. You hardly know anything about me.
What don't I know? Where is this coming from? I know that you love bus rides. They remind you of the city. I know you like to cook and you hate television. You want 3 children, the perfect kind of family. You love me, even though you're not acting like it right now. You hate American food. You miss home.
I miss home.
Is that it? Do you miss home? We can visit.
No, we can't visit. I don't fit in there anymore. I don't fit in anywhere.
Lydia.
Tom. I rode the bus to Bargain World.
You did.
Yes, I did. I rode the bus all the way into downtown. I got my cart and started to fill it with all the normal groceries. All the groceries on this little American grocery list you helped me write. It's full of American foods. Jell-O. I filled my cart with American food and went to get my vegetables. I got my American vegetables. Cauliflower, eggplant, rutabaga. Uy, asqueroso. I thought I deserved something from home. I was such the ideal immigrant. Look at me, getting all my American food from my American husband. I deserve some yuca. I asked the fat man washing the produce where my yuca was. He just yelled and growled. Dirty Cuban, he said. I told him I was from Puerto Rico. Dirty foreigner, he said. I told him Americans had controlled the island forever, as long as I've known. No difference, he said. I told him there was a lot of difference. I know Americans. They think they know everything when they don't. I tried to educate him. Dirty whore, he said. I told him I had an American husband. Dirty gold-digging Spanish whore, he said. He said they didn't carry yuca and never would. I left my American groceries in the cart in the produce aisle.
You never have to go to Bargain World again. We'll find another grocery store you like.
No entiendes. That won't help, Tomas.
What don't I understand?
You don't see it. Estás ciego. You don't even know what that means. You are white and American. You don't see it. People look at you and are happy. They look at me and see my hair and my eyes and my skin and are sick. Oh, it's even worse when I open my mouth. My English is perfect. Don't you think my English is perfect?
Yes.
It's not. Employers think I sound too different, too foreign. People won't understand me. Every time I ride the bus, I love so much, there's a part of me that is terrified. No matter how hard I try, I always look too different. And I worry what will happen when people notice. Do you know what that does to a person? It is hard for me to remember what I actually am. I am lumped together with all the people who speak Spanish. One moment, I am Puerto Rican. Or the next, I'm Cuban. Or the next, I'm Mexican. We are all the same to you.
You're not all the same to me.
What did you think of Puerto Ricans before you were stationed on the island? What have you been taught?
We didn't talk about Puerto Rico.
We were always taught about Americans. We all knew that we had to speak English to survive. We all had to know American history. We had to know what the Americans like to do, what sports they play. My mom had to know what kind of coffee you drink or go out of business, or worse. No wonder the nacionalistas got tired of it.
You're saying Americans like you aren't one, Lydia. You said it yourself. Puerto Rico is a part of America. Puerto Ricans are Americans.
No, we're not. We aren't treated like it. Give up my language, my family, my culture, my life. What is it all for?
How can you say that? You did it for us. You did it because we love each other.
I gave up my mother and my neighborhood. All those drab and lifeless people and places that meant the world to me. I gave it up to be avoided by my husband's parents and left alone 8 hours of the day trapped in a box.
They just need time to get used to you.
Get used to me, Tom. It has been months.
I'm not my parents. Lydia, I don't understand. I love you. I thought that was enough.
It used to be.
If you want to go back, you can. I can't stop you. You make me see the good in the world. I don't want to give that up, but I can't stop you. I can help you pack. Just give me a minute. I'm so sorry.
I can't leave you. A divorce would kill my mother. Also, I know a lot about you too. You love to talk about things. Filosofia. You love your family despite their flaws. You're kind. I saw that every conversation we had. You love each other. But you've got to work too. Learn to see these things. Once you know these things exist, you start to see them more. You can learn to notice things. I will point them out to you, and you will remind me to focus on the good things, like I taught you. We'll grow together. A marriage. I can't leave you. I love you.
Te amo.
Almost perfect.
Almost.
Moment 7. Daniel appears sitting on the floor of the main entranceway, a thick contract in front of him. He's taking a pen to each page and reading it carefully. Tony enters with a box of paintings and sets about looking at them. Daniel briefly notices his brother, but returns to his papers.
What's that?
Just some forms I have to sign.
For what?
My job. with Lemlick Enterprises.
I was in the attic looking for anything else of value. I'm glad I went up there. Found some old paintings of Mama's. They were tucked away in the corner, hidden by some insulation. Would you believe that?
What?
Here, look. This one has 1961 written on the back.
Good. You know, I'm going to have almost 50 people working for me. Well, I thought I was only going to have a couple dozen. They want me to make trips to the valley for meetings and proposals, and I could move up in corporate. Do you know how crazy this is?
Hey, do you think this is supposed to be Francesa?
What?
The girl right here in the painting. I don't know. I just thought, given the date and everything, it looks a little abstract to me. I never saw any of Mama's paintings that were abstract. They're always so real looking. I suppose 1961 was a really bad year for her.
Yeah, well, I suppose.
Oh, look at this one. Daniel, look at this one.
Tony, I'm busy.
Daniel turns back to the contract, but this time he is not writing anything. Tony looks at his brother before setting the painting down. He exits off into the house. Daniel gets up and walks over to the painting, actually looking at it. He replaces it in the box and sets the box on the floor, but becomes distracted and picks out a different painting. He looks at it a while before setting it down on the table, retrieving his contract and leaving the house. Moment 8. Lydia enters with some paints and sets to work painting. Tom walks in and notices her. She does not notice him as he watches her work.
At it again.
Ay, qué susto! Oh, Tom, it's you. How long have you been there?
Only a couple seconds. I was thinking about something.
Yes?
This baby,
Yes.
what are we going to name him?
Him? How are you so sure it's a boy?
We've had 2 boys already. I think that's just our lot.
I don't think so.
You don't?
No,
Why not?
I don't think the Lord would be that cruel.
Cruel.
3 boys? Please, no. How could I manage?
You'd manage just fine.
No, I'm having a girl. I know. All the pain she's causing me. She has to be my perfect little girl.
How about this? A deal.
Oh, a deal.
Yes. If it's a boy, I'll name him.
You'll give him another English name.
Let me finish. If it's a girl, you name her.
I really get to name her?
Sure. I trust your judgment. Antonio is a fine name. Although I think you liked being called Tony a bit more.
You fought me on the name for months. I asked about Gustavo, Manuel, Roberto. And when we settled on Antonio, you practically cried. As if Daniel was much better.
Well, that was my grandfather's name.
Yes! It is all just like your grandfather.
Well, if it's a boy, I'm going to name him Isaac.
Isaac. Isaac. Do you hate him already?
No. On the contrary, I love him already.
I know, darling.
What are your names?
I got a few in mind, actually. I know we still got 7 months, but I've been thinking about this for a while.
You have?
Yes.
What were you thinking?
Well, I have 3 names picked out. The first one is Elena.
Elena.
I don't like it very much, but my tia is named Elena. It would make her so happy.
Would it make you happy?
My next is Anna.
Anna.
No, Anna.
That's a little bit better.
It's okay. It's very normal. I know a lot of Annas back home.
I know a lot of Annas here, too. What's your third name?
Oh, Francesa. Please like it. I love that name. It's so...
Wonderful.
Really?
Yes, it's beautiful.
You think so?
Yes. I hope we have a girl.
You're telling me. What time is it?
3:30.
No, the kids! We have to pick them up. They get out in 15 minutes. Oh, Daniel has his dentist appointment today. Drive us?
Of course. I'll go to the car.
Oh, let me grab my coat.
Tom exits from the house. Lydia disappears for a moment and returns wearing a coat. She appears to be leaving, but she is stopped. There is a shift. The weight of realities can be felt. She returns to her easel. It is almost trance-like. She picks up a brush.
My dear Francesa, what shall we paint today? Let's paint the ocean. Oh, darling, you would have loved the ocean. You would have loved dolphins. Oh, they would have been your favorite animal. We'd sit by the water all day hoping to see one in the waves. Oh, you would have screamed with joy anytime we saw one. You would have been picky, though. Not just any ocean would do. You would want the yellow-green skies. No, the yellow-green waters of San Juan. I would have taken you there. I would have made sure you saw them. The white sand of Florida beach is great, but only the golden sand would do for you. And you deserve the world. Let's paint a red sun. You would have loved red. It would have been your favorite color because it's mine. Cielos rojos y amarillos. Yes, you would have loved them.
Mommy! Daniel won't let me play pirates with him. He said I'm too young and ugly.
I did not. He's lying.
Uh-uh.
You would have loved your brothers with your whole heart. Oh, my darling, and they would have loved you. Daniel, play with your brother. They would have protected you. Between them and your father, nobody would have ever broken your heart. But me, I would have been the worst of them all. No one would have ever met my standards for you. You would have been my perfect little baby. You would have loved life. And I would have loved you so much. I'm so sorry.
Mama, Daniel just hit me.
I did not. I did not.
Lydia, are you coming?
She is still looking off in the direction of the house of her boys. Slowly, the trance breaks. She turns and smiles at Tom. She takes his hand and they leave the house together. Moment 9. Tony enters with groceries and heads to the kitchen. He starts unpacking ingredients to make spaghetti, turning on the oven and seeming to set up. He goes to throw something away, but he stops, picking up a sheet of paper out of the trash can and reading it. When Daniel enters, Tony, who is obviously upset, folds the paper and stuffs it in his pockets.
Are you cooking?
Yes.
What's the occasion?
Well, I figured we'd have a meal here for old time's sake.
Oh, well, that was nice of you. What did you get? Spaghetti?
Yes. Figured that would be simple enough. You like spaghetti.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've had it. Did you get meatballs? Oh, you did. Oh, and you got the good ones too. Thanks.
Of course.
Hey, is something wrong?
No, go sit down. Just have to put the water on. So, anything exciting happen?
What do you mean?
Any new buyers?
No. No new buyers.
That's a shame.
Yes. I leave soon. I like to sell it while I'm still here.
Something tells me you will.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I was thinking You, me, Rosa, and Luisa could go out to dinner before I head out in a few weeks.
Sure. Where?
I was thinking Bella's.
Italian.
Yeah.
How about we cook some of Mommy's old recipes?
I can't cook, Tony.
I'll fix them.
I don't want to be any trouble.
It's really no trouble at all. I'm sure you can find Puerto Rican food in restaurants there. Well, maybe not in Santa Barbara, but in general California. But you won't be able to find Mommy's recipes.
I'd really much rather go out to a restaurant. And that way neither of us has to work.
Suit yourself. So, no new buyers.
I said that.
What about old buyers?
What do you mean?
Have any of the people we showed the house to called, made an offer?
Not that I know of.
Not that you know of.
I said that.
You did.
You know.
I do.
How?
What's this?
I don't know.
Because it looks like my signature. Several of my signatures. Some look like I must have signed when I was drunk or distracted, but that's how I dot my I's at the end and my T's.
Tony.
Why have you been practicing my signature, Daniel?
I had to, Tony. You never would have let me sell.
So you already sold it.
Yes.
To who? God.
You never would have let me sell, Tony.
I never would have let you sell to her. Miss Jennings? The one who thinks our childhood was exotic? Mama would be so upset, Daniel.
But Father would be proud of us for moving on.
Would he be proud of this? Is my signature on those closing papers, Daniel? Because I don't remember agreeing to sell the house to her. You went behind my back. You lied to me. You've gone against everything you said when we started this process. And if this is the signature you used, well, you must think I have horrible penmanship. I mean, this T, it looks a little funny. Do I write my T's like that? Do I dot my I's like that? Is this what you think of me?
You wouldn't have let me sell.
To her. I wouldn't have let you sell to her. You always promised me we'd find someone who appreciated the house for what it was. Someone who didn't want to change it, who would understand how special this place is. That's why I haven't put up a fight.
You haven't put up a fight? Oh my God, Tony. All you've done is fight me on everything. The house, my job, the move. I can't make any decisions for myself. All because you're hanging on to some pipe dream of moving in when you can't even pay your rent.
You forged my signature, Daniel. I could have you arrested.
Yeah, you wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't?
We're brothers. You'll get over this. You'll move on. I'd even venture to say that you'll grow to appreciate this decision one day. Either that or you'll just forget about it.
I'll move on. I'll forget. Like how you're trying to forget where you come from?
Tony.
You've been fighting so hard to separate yourself from her. You won't speak Spanish. You eat Italian food or Chinese food. You're moving to Santa Barbara. What's next? What part of yourself will you lose next?
Tony, that's not fair.
No matter how much you try, you can't erase that part of you. Look, I know you have a white name. I know you have a white job, but look at you, brother. Look at your eyes. You have mother's eyes. You can't pretend you don't belong to her.
Have you ever stopped to think that maybe the reason you're not successful is because you don't?
What do you mean?
Where do you work? Bargain World. As a butcher. Where am I going to work? Lemlick Enterprises.
What's your point?
Being Puerto Rican holds you back, brother. You work for other people, white people. They don't work for you. Me? I'm going to have 47 full-time employees working under me in Santa Barbara, even more part-time. You have to be white to succeed here, Antonio. You have to have your white name. If you can pass as white, be white. Mama said as much when she was alive. She dressed white, did her makeup white. Tienes que sobrevivir. You need to be white.
My God, your Spanish has gotten so awful.
You know, if I were you, I would change my name to Anthony. See what that does for you.
Maybe she did that before. But you know she stopped, Daniel. She got better. And she never let go of who she really was, even during those bad years. Outside of this house, she was quiet. She spent time on her words so people wouldn't hear her accent. But inside this house, I know you don't remember much, but she went in and out of languages like that. She never forgot who she was or where she came from. She remembered her childhood as if it were yesterday, but you don't remember anything.
I remember what I need to.
Like that day at school? I've always wondered if that's the reason why. You were always so different after that.
Shut up, Tony.
12-year-olds are stupid, Daniel. You let some stupid boys in middle school ruin your life.
No, you ruined my life. They went after me because I stood up for you, okay? You couldn't keep your mouth shut and just stay out of the way.
You can't use some schoolyard trauma or cherry-picked lessons from mom to justify turning your back on me, Daniel, on all of us.
There is no us, Tony. Stop trying to psychoanalyze me, okay? They're dead. Mom and dad are dead. Eventually, they'll be forgotten, but we're going to have to move on. You're going to have to move on.
You know, one of these days, brother, you're going to forget me.
Sometimes I think that would be so much easier.
The brothers stare off until Tony walks past Daniel and leaves. Daniel stays frozen until he hears a noise. Startled, he runs to the kitchen and turns off the stove, hunching over it. He exits the house. End of Act 1. We will now take a 5-minute intermission before continuing with Act 2. See you soon. Welcome back. Act 2, Moment 10. Tony enters full of youth. He looks for a moment in the sitting room before spotting a small roller suitcase by one of the chairs. He begins to take it out of the house, but stops. A moment. He quickly begins rifling through its contents, trying to find something.
Tony?
He continues rifling, finally grabbing a long necklace with something on the end of it.
Tony!
He frantically zips up the suitcase and puts the necklace in his pocket right before Daniel enters.
What the hell? What?
Oh, sorry. It's just really heavy. I'm getting it, I swear.
We've got to hit the road soon to make it in time for orientation.
Literally, it's tomorrow, Daniel.
Yeah, but there's a certain amount of ground we need to cover today so we get there on time tomorrow.
Sorry, I didn't know you were in such a hurry to get out of here.
What did you take?
What? Nothing.
Why were you going through my suitcase?
I wasn't going through it.
Why were you in here so long?
What's going on here?
Tony was just rifling through my suitcase.
I was not.
What were you doing in his suitcase, Tony?
I wasn't in his suitcase.
You totally were.
Was not. I literally was just standing here.
Oh, Daniel, it's so heavy. It's just shoes.
And hats and some clothes.
So you did look in it.
Tony, you can't...
I wasn't not.
Did you take something?
I didn't take anything.
Turn around.
What? No.
Turn around. Let me see your hands.
No, what is this?
I said turn around. I knew it.
What is it?
It's your dog tags, Dad.
My dog tags? Why did you have my dog tags, Tony?
I don't know. I didn't even realize I'd grabbed them.
Oh, bull.
Watch the language, Daniel.
He tried to steal out of my suitcase.
You wanted them? I gave them to your brother as a graduation present.
But why does he get to have them?
He asked for them.
But I wanted them too.
You didn't ask for them.
This is bull.
Antonio.
What is going on in here?
Tony was trying to take the dog tags Dad gave me.
I just wanted the stupid dog tags.
Stupid dog tags.
Oh, Tom, he didn't mean it like that.
Those stupid dog tags are the whole reason you're here and can say things like that.
They're my dog tags, Tony. Good luck getting them now.
Look, I don't...
¿Por qué? What is the meaning of this, Antonio?
It doesn't mean anything. I just wanted them. I don't know.
Antonio.
That's it, Ma.
Don't raise your voice at your mother.
Wow, you really had to find a way to make my day all about you, huh?
Daniel? Why don't you two finish loading up the car? You two.
I just wanted the dog tags. I don't know why. I'm sorry.
Antonio, I'm not mad. I just want to know what's wrong.
Nothing's wrong.
You cannot lie to me. You're jealous?
No.
You wanted Dad to give the dog tags to you.
That's not it.
Then what is it?
You'll have to come back to get them.
What?
You'll have to come back to see me to get the dog tags back.
He would probably just ask you to mail them to him.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Ugh. But why does he get the dog tags anyway? Just because he graduated first? I mean, what if I really did want them? I mean, I don't. It's just the principle of it all.
The principal. Antonio. Here, come, sit with me.
Look, Ma, it's not a big deal.
Antonio, siéntate ahora.
Fine.
He's coming back, you know. It's only college. He'll be back in a couple of months.
How do you know?
I just know. That's what college students do. They go to school and then bring 3 loads of laundry back home for their parents to wash for them.
I don't think he's coming back.
Why do you say that?
just have this feeling.
Well, I have a feeling that he's going to miss his younger brother more than he thinks he is.
He won't miss me. He can't wait to get rid of me. He always pretended he didn't know me at school. Stupid freshman brother.
You both are teenagers.
I didn't ask for that.
I don't think anyone ever wants to be a teenager.
Hates me.
Oh, he loves you.
Doesn't like me. He doesn't like any of us.
What?
He doesn't like us. He doesn't like being part of this family.
What makes you think that?
I heard him tell his friends at school once. He pretended not to notice me behind him in the lunch line. He hates the way people stare at us. He hates having to watch out for me, which is stupid. Like, I never asked him to. Never mind. And please don't be mad at me. I shouldn't have told you.
It's okay, Antonio. As mature as Daniel thinks he is, and as much as he thinks he knows what he wants, he doesn't. He got an idea in his head at some point and refuses to let it go. But he will. He is the most stubborn person I have ever met, and I worked with Rodrigo Fuentes at the center all summer. Thanksgiving. And then Christmas. Just in time for the lechon asado.
Can we come in now?
I suppose.
I'm sorry I tried to steal the dog tags, Daniel.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Be good for mom and dad, okay?
Good. Please. I'm about to prove I'm the better child.
Glad to know you have a good sense of humor. And take care of yourself, please.
Daniel. Oh, sorry. I'm just going to miss you.
Yeah, I'll miss you too.
Look at me.
What are you?
Shh. Just getting a good look at you. You know how proud I am of you?
Can I speak now?
Of course, silly.
Yeah, I know.
I'm so proud of you. You work so hard.
I was just doing what you told me.
What?
I just know how hard you wanted this for me, that's all.
Are you happy?
Yes,
Excited?
of course.
That's all I've ever wanted. For you to be the happiest version of yourself.
Lydia, we need to hit the road.
Of course, you do. I know. Have you packed everything?
Yes, Mom.
Toothbrush?
Yes.
Enough underwear?
Mom.
Just making sure.
Here, honey.
You drive safe and take care of my son.
Excuse me, ma'am. He's my son, too.
Yes, of course.
Well,
I love you. Call and write often.
of course.
Let's hit the road, Danny.
And take frequent steps. Take care of yourself.
Mom?
Yes. Oh, yes.
You okay?
Of course.
You're crying.
No, I'm not.
We'll be back for Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Yes. Why don't I make us some breakfast?
Sure, Mom.
They disappear into the house. Elsewhere, Daniel enters carrying a landline phone. He does not seem to be in the house. He goes to a spot on the floor and sits down, looking at the phone. Finally, he builds up the courage to pick it up. He dials a number and waits. After some time, it is clear that he is going to have to leave a message.
Hey, Mom and Dad. I'm sorry I missed you. You're both probably at work. I don't really know a great way to do this, so I'm just going to launch into it. I don't know if I can make it back for Thanksgiving. But I was really looking forward to seeing you all, but I've just been thinking about it, and it's going to be so much money, you know? Flying from here to you both and flying back again for finals. I don't want to do that to you. But I will be home for Christmas. I promise. I'll spend Thanksgiving with my friend Ron and his family. They're from Andover. That's like 30 minutes away, but that's not super important. I hope you're both doing well. I'm calling on the common room landline. I want to know how your art classes are going, Mom. Oh, also, I got that award I told you about, Dad. The director said something about me being the first Hispanic person that they've ever had win it. That's cool, I guess. Anyway, give me a call back when you can. Love you. I'm sorry about Thanksgiving. Bye.
Moment 11. Lydia, appearing much older, lies in bed. The nurse enters and goes about straightening up.
Good morning, Lydia. How are you this morning? We really should open these curtains, shouldn't we? There, that's better. Now you can have a little light. Well, where's your husband today? Oh, that's right. He's driving your son to the airport. Daniel, right? He's a good-looking boy, Lydia. Very well behaved. And he goes to MIT. That's a good school. You must be so proud. You know, I have a niece, Angela, that he might like. Very nice. Yells sometimes, but you learn to manage. We're working on it. Maybe we should set them up.
No.
No, he has a girl already. That's a shame. You have another son, yes? Maybe he and Angela would work out well together.
No.
Oh, he's unavailable too. Well, if you have any nephews, just let me know. The girl is going on 26 and her mother just can't handle her anymore.
Of course.
We've got a beautiful family. You know that? Of course you do. How could you not?
Where's Tom?
Oh, I'm sure he'll be here soon. Do you want something?
No.
That's a pretty tree you've got out there. I don't think I've ever seen flowers quite like it. Would you know, I've spent my whole life taking care of people, but plants, I've got the worst brown thumb in the world. I can't grow anything to save my life. They're Puerto Rican, right? I just find the whole thing fascinating. I'd love for you to tell me about Puerto Rico sometime when you feel up for it, you know? I have so many questions.
Questions?
Well, what was it like, you know? What did you eat? Was it spicy? What if you're not good with spice? What do you wear? Do people wear khakis over there? That kind of thing. I suppose that doesn't matter any, does it?
No.
Oh, look, Tom just pulled into the driveway. He really loves you. I can just tell from the way he looks at you. It gives a girl hope. Maybe one day we can all find someone who'll look at us like that.
Hopefully.
Finding people who care about you is important, even if they have no idea what you're going through. Good morning. How was Daniel?
Fine.
I'm sure he was. Off to college?
MIT.
Massachusetts. That's quite different from Florida.
Yes.
It must be hard having him so far away from home. I bet you're counting down the days till spring break.
Well, I'm here now, Martha.
I see.
I can take care of her.
Of course you can.
By myself.
Of course. Oh, all right. Just make sure it doesn't get too hot in here. I've noticed that she seems in a better mood when it's cold.
I will.
And keep the windows open. She should see those flowers. The red ones. Ugh, absolutely gorgeous.
They're called Florida Maga, and I will, Martha.
She's wonderful, Tom. I love taking care of people. I really do. Sometimes I just wish I could meet people under better circumstances. Or ring me if you need anything.
I will.
You'll ring?
If something is wrong.
Oh, wonderful.
Martha, thank you.
Of course.
She means well.
Oh, she's daft.
You can't be daft and mean well. How do you feel today?
About the same as yesterday. It's just a constant pain. Never really goes away. Except when I'm sleeping. But I'm always still so tired. And my hair is worse.
Daniel was really glad he got to see you. He didn't say as much, but I could tell. I think he misses us. It's weird to think that he's only got a few more months up there. And Tony is almost done with his first year at community college.
He won't stay there.
I think as long as you stay on him about it, he will.
He won't stay there.
We're going to see Daniel graduate in just a few months, Lydia. Can you believe that? From MIT. He's extraordinary.
They both are. They both are, just in different ways.
You're right. Daniel is very book smart. He's got a wonderful work ethic. You taught him that. Tony knows people, though. He's always been good at reading people.
They're both smart.
Yes, they're both smart. I love them both. You do too. You've got your appointment later. Do you want to leave early? We can go to that Italian restaurant. I know Daniel isn't here, but I think it's pretty good too.
I am so tired of doctor's appointments.
I know, but it's important to go to them. Dr. Morton is nice enough.
Oh, he talks in circles. Lo odio.
No, you don't mean that.
No, you're right. I just hate going to his office. The hospital smells. I hate wheelchairs.
You're not even 50, Lydia. You have to go to Dr. Morton.
For what? Poking and prodding and pity? Talking about my feet and rashes?
Hello, we're having technical difficulties, so I will stand in for the role of Lydia until Ruth Diaz is able to join us. For what, poking and prodding and pity, talking about my feet and rashes for an hour? No es vida.
Look at your tree. It's blooming.
Yes.
You know, I found that tree by chance on a sale with Jim. We were trying to sell these television sets without any luck, and drove right past this garden store. I think it's the best purchase I've ever made.
No, it's not.
Okay, then. What is?
The house. Our whole lives were lived here.
Do you remember that night you came back from Bargain World?
Oh, Bargain World.
That was before Tony and Daniel.
Yes. Before Francesa.
Yes. We never did go back there.
That's right.
I have a confession. I did.
What?
I went back there the next day after work. That's why I was late. I told you I had a meeting that ran long with my boss, but I didn't. I went back to Bargain World to try and find that guy, the one who had said those things to you. I found him and turned him into the manager. I saw him get fired. Before I met you, I didn't realize how much had to be changed. You told me I didn't notice things, and you were right. I know I had a lot of learning to do. Thank you for teaching me.
Tom,
I understand. I know.
I love you.
Te amo.
Perfect.
Moment 12. A doorbell rings. Daniel walks in from the house, his hair wet from a shower, and opens the door to the buyer, who stands there with papers.
Oh, hi, Mrs. Jennings. I thought you and the movers weren't coming until tomorrow.
Oh, I was just driving by and saw the light on in the window. I was wondering if maybe I could come in and just look around, see what furniture is still left in the place, and take inventory.
Oh, I guess. Certainly. Come in.
Thank you so much. Daniel, is your brother here?
No.
Oh, what a shame. I suppose I'll start in the kitchen.
You brought labels?
Oh, yes. Well, most of the furniture in the house is wonderful. It has this vintage feel that I really love. Some of it really isn't my or my husband's taste, so it'll have to be moved or taken to the dump. But
The dump?
Oh, don't worry. Most of this will be staying. I just have a very strong vision of what this place can be, and not every single piece fits into that vision. Best not to delay with decisions. Unless, of course, you're busy. Should I come back later?
No. Go ahead. It's all yours now.
First things first. This refrigerator is too old.
It still works fine.
I've got a much better one at my house in Miami that I'll be transporting here. This is fine. This will have to go, though.
And where did you say you were taking this again?
The dump.
Can I make a suggestion?
I suppose you can.
There's a really great thrift shop 2 towns over. Big appliance section, too. Why don't you donate the stuff there?
What town?
Destin.
Destin? You're joking? That's over an hour away.
It's not that far. You can get it under an hour if you speed. It's a great place and worth the drive, I think.
What's so special about that store?
I just read about it in the newspaper. They did a big piece on it. They only hire people who are bilingual. It's owned by a Cuban immigrant. It's a really great rags to riches story, if you ask me.
It sounds like a great story, but I'm paying movers by the hour.
Of course.
Next, those chairs in the living room. Ugh, these god-awful chairs. Straight to the dump. I tried to rack my brain about where I could put them, but they just don't fit in anywhere. Oh, and what's this?
It's my mother's painting.
It's quite beautiful. Did your mother paint often?
Yeah. It was her job, really. She taught art down at the community center, sold paintings to people. She was a terrible saleswoman, though. She often gave away her paintings instead of actually selling them. But she did enough to contribute a little bit of money to the house, especially when she got the gig at the center.
Well, then I'll keep it here since it has such a history. But this is not the place for it. Maybe the bathroom.
Oh, no. I think there's been a misunderstanding. My brother is coming over tomorrow and taking the painting home.
I thought everything that was still here was mine.
Everything's still here as of tomorrow.
Do you think you can point that out to me in the contract here?
Sure. There.
I see. How much to buy the painting now?
I'm sorry?
The magazine said that the color of the year is ribbon red, and I'd love to do the bathroom in that color. This painting would complement it so well.
I'm sorry, it's not for sale.
Don't be ridiculous. I can pay 10 times what it's worth. 500. Richard would absolutely love it. My husband has a new fascination with everything vaguely Cuban. This would be a great housewarming gift for him.
It's a flor de maga. It's Puerto Rico's national flower.
Richard won't know the difference. I say it's Cuban, and he'll think it's Cuban. 500? I can do 6.
I'm sorry, but it's not for sale. My brother wants it.
Then call your brother. Let me speak to him.
He won't give it to you.
He doesn't strike me as the type of man to turn down a quick buck. He'll sell.
He won't.
I'm sure he will. Call him.
No.
You know what? I'm going home. I'll be back with the movers tomorrow. I'm sure you won't be here when I get back.
The buyer leaves. Daniel watches her, infuriated. He turns back to the painting and looks at it, reaching up and taking it off of the peg. He sits at the table, staring at the painting. Moment 13. Daniel is as we left him. Tom wanders in and from the back of the house. He looks older and limps. He carries his notebook.
Dad.
Daniel, I thought you were in California.
I was. Tony called. He said, how are you?
Oh, well, I'm fine. I had another slip yesterday. I think I banged up my leg a little bit. Your brother took me to the hospital. Have I ever mentioned that I hate hospitals?
Once or twice. I was just looking at Mama's painting. Beautiful.
They always were.
What's that?
Oh, well, I'm writing a love story, my son.
A love story? I didn't know you were a writer.
I'm not, but it needs to be written.
Well, tell me about it.
It's based on a true story.
Really?
Yes, mine.
Oh. You and Mom?
Yes.
What about it?
Everything I can remember, starting from the beginning. Starting with my station during the war. I've been working my way year by year. It's difficult. Sometimes I find myself in April remembering something I had forgotten from March. I wanted to go in order, but maybe later I'll organize it. Or you can do it for me. Or your brother. He doesn't know about this yet. Do you know where he is?
I don't.
He told me before he left, but I don't remember. Either way, it's all just the same. As long as it's on paper, I'm happy. There's so much I don't think people know. There's so much you and your brother don't know.
And you want us to know?
Of course. Although I must say that you won't like some of it.
Well, why not?
I know you, Daniel.
Well, you are my father.
Never mind. It's unimportant. Do you know where your brother is?
No, Dad. I just told you that.
Did you? Oh. How's California? What were you doing again?
I was interviewing at another company.
How was that?
I don't think I got it.
Don't take it to heart, Daniel. You'll get a good job one day at a great company. Maybe you should look closer to home. I've never been to California, but I know that a lot of stuff goes on there. A lot of people live there. They want to work there.
California is the best place for me, Dad.
Well, if you believe that's the case, keep going for it. One of those interviews will work out. You ever heard of Lemlich Enterprises?
Yeah, of course. They started a few years ago, but at the rate they're going, they could be the next Microsoft within a decade.
Now, don't get too excited because I never know what's real and what's not nowadays, but I think I remember a buddy of mine from the service whose son started a tech company named Lemlich Enterprises. Now, we could be talking about different Lemlich Enterprises, but...
What was your buddy's son's name?
Well, he's named after his father, Harold. His dad went by Harry.
You know Harry Lemlich?
I know his father. If you want, I can probably put in a call. I could get you an interview. We've stayed in contact all these years. He actually visited when you were 8. I doubt you remember.
You may be right. I don't remember that.
I guess we have that in common, you and me. Our memories don't serve us that well anymore. Although I think they're going for different reasons.
So, what part are you on?
What?
Your love story.
Oh, of course. Right now, I'm writing about our wedding. I've only just gotten started, you see. I'm definitely going to need another notebook. See how far I've gotten?
Yeah. It seems like your love story will definitely need a sequel.
Well, there's a lot to write about. I want you kids to know everything. Just promise me you'll read it.
I'll read it right here in this chair while you listen. How does that sound?
Promise me you'll read it, even if I'm not here.
Come on, what kind of question?
I'm your father, Daniel. I know you. Ever since your mother died those years ago, you've been pulling away from her. You're forgetting her. I want you to remember.
I'm not forgetting her.
Well, I don't want to take any chances. Oh, Daniel, I have a surprise for you.
You do?
Yes, your brother took me to this wonderful little thrift shop in Destin. They all speak Spanish and English. It's wonderful. Your mother would have loved it. I got you a surprise.
Okay. What is it?
It's a santo.
What?
They're a big thing over in Puerto Rico. They're little figures of the patron saints.
Yeah, I know what a santo is, Dad. Mom had a couple of them.
Ah, yes. But this one is of John the Baptist. San Juan has a festival celebrating him every year. He's their patron saint, you know.
Dad.
I really wish your mother could see this one. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Dad.
I was thinking you could display it in your new house in California when you get it. It'd be a reminder of your mother.
Dad, no. I mean, why don't you give it to Tony?
I want you to have it. I want you to feel closer to your mother. Ever since she died, even before she died, you've just been wandering off. I think I saw it when you left for college. Dog tags.
Wandering off? What does that mean?
Daniel, you're a smart boy. Young man, you know what I mean.
My mother told me to do what I needed.
Your mother also wanted you to be true to yourself. To be happy.
Yeah, those things don't always go together.
Well, Daniel, I guess that means you need to make a few tough...
Dad, you'll never guess. Daniel, you came.
Of course I came. Tony.
It's always good to see you, Daniel. I feel like I never see you anymore.
Ah, come on, you see me all the time.
You're in a good mood, Tony.
Guess what they had at the store today, Dad? Juca. They're finally carrying Juca, and it's about time.
You're kidding. I haven't had that since your mother.
I can fry it up like she used to for dinner tonight. I also brought home some of the cuts we were going to throw away at work. A couple flanks.
Oh, Tony, that would be perfect.
I should head back to the apartment.
What?
Daniel, you just got here.
I haven't been back to my apartment since my plane landed. I should drop my stuff off, settle back in.
At least stay for dinner.
I really shouldn't. Doesn't look like you've got enough food in that bag for all three of us, Tony.
We can make it work.
I'll do dinner tomorrow or something to make up for it.
Of course you will. Well, it's always good to see you, brother. I've got more bags in the car.
What's wrong with him?
He's a good kid.
He's hardly a kid. He's old enough to take care of himself now.
He's stubborn, just like his mother. Promise me you'll read it.
Moment 14.
You're still not going to read it?
What?
The notebook. It's right there. Never mind. The movers are going to be here, so I'm going to have the painting.
Oh, sure.
I always did hate those chairs.
I know.
When do you leave for California?
Tuesday.
Tuesday?
Yeah.
Waste no time, do you?
Tony. I'm sorry.
Sorry. What? Which part? Are you sorry about selling the house? Are you sorry for thinking so little of me and my life? Are you sorry for the way you treat your mother and yourself? What are you sorry for?
All of it.
Huh. Well, I'm glad you're sorry. Maybe explain that to Mrs. Jennings. She'll definitely give us back the house then.
Tony.
No, don't Tony me. You want me to tell you it's all fine, but it's not. This is just the final step in this plan you've had ever since Mother died. You wanted to erase everything. You wanted to start over without your history. Well, you got it. Your Puerto Rican brother, the family disgrace, won't stand in the way of your dreams. In December, we lost her. Lydia obviously took it hard. I took it hard. But I don't need her or the kids to know that. Not that the kids know much at all. Tony is so young that he'll forget about it by next week. Daniel knows a little more. He always was a smart kid, my brilliant boy. I have a vision of who he will become, and every day he works to make it a reality.
What are you doing?
I've been learning from Lydia. I started to see the eyes following us as we walked together. When Lydia walked into a gas station to use their restroom, I saw how the worker winked at her and wouldn't stop looking at her. He felt entitled. I hate that Daniel and Tony have to...
Just stop, Tony.
Daniel came to visit me. He thinks I'm about to die. And he's probably right. He didn't say it, but I know. That's why he flew back from California. That and his brother who misses having Daniel around. As much as the two fought, Tony always looked up to him. Tony keeps telling Daniel that I'm about to die so he doesn't go too far for too long. So he comes home. I told him to keep interviewing in California. That's what he wants. He wants to get as far away from this story as possible. I understand, but I don't like it. It is my hope that one day he'll read this notebook and remember the love that defined his childhood. I hope he remembers his mother and where he comes from. I know he won't see that, but I hope for it still.
He didn't write that.
It's right there. Read it if you want. I've read it so many times, I've memorized every single word. I know it by heart. Call me when you get to California. I'm still worth the long distance.
Wait, Tony, don't.
Daniel looks after Tony and then shifts his gaze to the notebook. Slowly, he moves towards it and sits on the floor. He places the notebook in his lap and starts reading. He only gets so far before collapsing into tears. Blackout. End of play. I'd like to thank you all for joining us for this live final workshop reading of The House by Savannah S. Miller. I'd also like to thank our amazing ensemble of actors and YPT production associate Keita Newborn for running this live performance so smoothly. And most importantly, I'd like to thank our playwright Savannah for her dedication to working on this play and script development process. We would love to hear your feedback and reactions to this workshop reading. If you'd like to provide some, please see the description below for the link to our feedback form. Lastly, if you'd like to support the work of Young Playwrights Theater or learn how to apply to be a young playwright in progress yourself, please visit our website at yptdc.org or follow us on social media at YPTDC. Goodbye.